I have a video request here, and Anonymous writes in, how much money do I need to make it to Japan? And I guess what they mean by make it to Japan is to move to Japan. But in this answer, I'm also going to include how much money you'll need not only to make it to Japan, but how much you're going to need to live off of before you get your first paycheck. So, I've personally made the move over here to Japan twice. Uh, so it's been a long time since I've had to move here, but just going by the monthly payments here and how much plane tickets cost, it's still roughly the same as it was when I made the move. So first and foremost, if you don't have a passport or anything like that, you're gonna need to get your passport. That's not really all that expensive. I believe new passports are a little over $100. I could be wrong. Could be wrong. It's been many years since I've had to get my original passport. I recently just renewed my passport from within Japan. That's a different story. But you'll need to get your passport, a couple $100 at most, I would say at most. Then you'll need to get your plane ticket, which, if you have a visa, a valid visa to come over here and work, you can get a one-way plane ticket that's much cheaper than a round-trip ticket. Now, if you're just coming over here to Japan in hopes to find a job once you're here, like change your visa once you're here, then they probably are going to be a little skeptical about you coming in on a one-way ticket. So in that case, you might want to get a two-way ticket. But it also depends on the time of the year that you travel. So if you're coming in, let's say, early spring or midsummer, which are kind of the hiring times, your plane ticket cost will range anywhere from like $700-800 to $1,500, depending on one-way round trip, uh, gasoline, gasoline, jet fuel costs, and all that. So you're looking at anywhere from $500 to almost $2,000 for your plane fare. So I would have at least $2,000 on standby for the plane ticket. Now, your preparation depends on what you're sending over to Japan. When I came here, I brought as little as possible, just fit everything I could in a suitcase in terms of clothes, and a couple of like gaming systems or something that I had. But made sure to fit pretty much 90% of my stuff in a suitcase that I brought over here. So I came over here very minimalist. Now I've accumulated quite a lot of stuff since being here, but moving over here, I tried to go as sparse as possible, because you don't want really the hassle of having to deal with a lot of junk, especially if you don't have an apartment right off the bat, or a place to live. If you're temporary housing situation, you don't want to be hauling around a bunch of stuff. So if you do have things to send over in boxes, that will cost you a bit of money in shipping. So have a couple of $100 on standby for that, if it's absolutely necessary that you need to be bringing stuff over here. Again, traveling light is probably your best option. Now, the real meat and potatoes here of what you probably need to bring money-wise to Japan for, I would say, at least 1 month. 1 month at least, possibly 2 months. You will need to bring at least $1,000 to $2,000 in cash for your first month living here. And that is because most jobs you'll find in Japan, you won't be paid until after your first full month working. So your paycheck for your first month won't come until the next month, near the end of the next month. So until that time, until you get paid at your job, you will need money to live off of for food or transportation or anything like that. And I erred on the safe side. I brought $3,000 of my savings to live off of for at least the first month or two. I didn't use all of it. I used about 1,500 of that, so I used about half. But I also did not live in Tokyo. Tokyo is a bit more expensive. So if you're moving to a big city like Tokyo, you might want to bring a little bit of extra cash. But I would say safely, to get you through the first couple of months, bring about $2,000 in cash. Because let's face it, if you bring anything else, credit cards might work, but most likely your bank cards or anything like that will not work over here. And a lot of ATMs don't accept foreign cash cards or foreign bank cards. So that's really it. So total, I would say, to be on the safe side, the cost for moving to Japan, close to about $5,000 if you do it minimally. Plane ticket, moving expenses, your cost of living once you've gotten here, as well as passport and all that sort of thing. So combine all that together, that's about $5,000. Now, I came here right out of graduating university, a few months after graduating university, and I had part-time jobs during the time, and a little bit of full-time after graduating, and I was able to save that much easily. So even if you are thinking about moving to Japan, and you don't have a job yet, or you haven't graduated yet, start saving your money now. That's probably the best thing you can do, is to save your money early on, so you won't have to worry about where you're going to get your food once you come over here, buying the plane ticket, anything like that. If you're the kind of person that likes to go out with their friends all the time, go drinking and whatnot, nothing wrong with that, but just keep in mind, just watch how much you're spending on having fun versus saving money if you want to come to Japan. So that's about it. Yeah, comfortably, I would say about $5,000 total, moving and living once you get your first paycheck. So, hope that answers your questions. If you liked the video, please give a thumbs up, please share it, and if you have any requests, please send them over to me. I'll have the link down below for that.